Okay, so today I have the opportunity to do a video a little bit earlier in the day. So I'm going to cover a couple of things. I'm still going to try to keep it, under 15, 20 minutes. So today they had the CPI numbers come out, inflation numbers. It was a little bit over 4% year over year. So if you're comparing this time last year to this year, inflation has increased by 4%, and there's a lot of talk about commodities going up, oil, lumber. You've seen a massive run up. There's a lot of talk about bond markets moving on this information, so we'll look at that. Bitcoin still, again, I mean, we did have a little bit of a sell off since the last time I did a video. That was Sunday. That was what was that date? Let's see. That was 2 days ago. I did a video the 9th. So let's see where we were. Oh, no. Yeah. So the 9th. We did have a sell off. We didn't get this retest on the upper end on the 4 hour. I did say that we could possibly retest. Oh, this moved. This area right here. We didn't quite get there, but let's see, the low is 53,908. This is at 52,913. I did have a buy in here to see if it would get that low. It didn't. And we can look at the funding rates real quick. So the funding rate's gone negative, which is actually kind of good given that we've just been consolidating, and it almost looks like we're forming. You could put an ascending triangle on this, and I mean, you could. This is pretty neutral. I think on the weekly, was it going negative? No. I know so on the 4 hour it is. I know on the hourly it did. So this is actually pretty good for price action. Let's look at the CMF real quick. CMF starting to trend up. That's actually good. This is also good. So if we break out here above 0.2, that'd be really good actually for price action. I think that's all I'm going to look at right now. I know the premium, the GBTC premium, is actually pretty low. It's minus 18%. Would like to see that start moving up, especially if you're holding GBTC. So yeah, I mean, I think we're fine. Hash ribbons, we'll pull those up real quick. Those haven't crossed yet to give an indication of a buy. I'm thinking that those probably won't cross until it breaks out. But it's based off hash, not price action. So I mean, they could cross before then, but the way they're moving, it looks like they're not going to cross until at least another another week or a couple days. So yeah, that's about right. Still neutral on Bitcoin until we break out here. We've just been consolidating. I did say something about an ascending triangle, which would be something like this. We have three price points here, and then you have this flat area here, and then we have this. But I mean, you kind of don't need it because we have the channel, right? So as soon as this breaks out, and this is probably going to break out soon, we're a little bit closer to the downside. But if it broke out, you're pretty much getting this 70, and this is 75. So, I have my channel. I'm going to rely on my channel, but you could draw that ascending triangle if you wanted. But CPI numbers being relatively high is actually good, especially if you believe Bitcoin is an inflationary hedge. We'll look at the dollar real quick. Here we had the 30 MA strategy that pulled back, retest, at least can come back up. Yeah, I'd like to see the price get back above this 30 MA on the 4 hour. We did, and then we sold off a little bit. It's like 2.5%, not that big of a deal. So, I mean, like I said, the CMF going up is actually good. Yeah, that's really good. This needs to start trending back up. And on the daily, it even looks very good as well. Yeah, if we can get past this old, see, because we had a descending, a bearish divergence, right? So we had higher prices. This would be somewhere here. Higher prices, but the indicator was going down. Now we're getting price movement, which means there's more buyers coming in. This is indicating more buyers and sellers. Our funding rate was negative. Oh, hold up. Well, this is on the daily, but I was negative on the 4-hour, and it's starting to trend up on the 4-hour. So we could see a price move here to break, maybe to get back to this upper level, this 59, 58 area. So we'll see. I think that would happen probably within the next day or two. We'll look at Ethereum only because it's been moving so much. It's like, again, just like last week, new all-time highs. They had multiple new all-time highs this week as well. Where's it at? I'm looking for Coinbase. Here it is. Here we go. I still have this area as a retest area on the daily. We are on. This is an 8. This could be the high. I know the RSI is probably through the roof. It is, but it's still trending up. So, and then on the weekly, we're just on an 8. I mean, this could be the top area, but this is, like I said, trending up. Let's see what the CMF is doing. It's kind of flat, but here, see how it's breaking out. So this looks like there's potentially a little bit more upside on Ethereum. Yep, that's what it looks like. And the retest area is really here back at 35, which is a pretty big drop. Right, about 15 to 20%. When's the last pullback? Last pullback, I would say, was here. That one was 21%. So we could be in for, or Ethereum is in for a pullback. And this would probably be the area for a buy whenever we do pull back. Okay, so, and then we can look at Doge real quick because I did cover that. And it's this chart. This has already come back and it's doing pretty much nothing. I can pull up the CMF on this to see what that looks like. This is going flat. This would have to start to trend back up. It's pretty flat. We're on a 9. This could be that 8 was obviously the top, right? The 8 can be the top. This is a 9. Maybe we get some consolidation. We go higher, but 39 is still an area that it can retest. All right, now let's look at the things that, so lumber I know had been going up. And I think it had been down for the past day or two. Here's where I was trying to chart it, and it was a breakout area, and it pretty much got there, consolidated. So let me just hide these. So lumber is part of this inflationary, it's part of this inflationary kind of narrative where consumer prices on items are going higher. And what I didn't know, let me see. So apparently, see, I don't have timber here. Apparently the price for timber before it's turned into lumber has not seen the same growth as lumber has, the finished product. But it doesn't look like TradingView has that data. So, but here, so we could see, the CMF is here. I'm going to go on the RSI, really. That's what I want to look at. So yeah, look, so we're here on the weekly. If this breaks below 70, we're probably going to come back. We are going to come back down, I think. So we retested this. Next area, I'm going to start marking these real quick. Here, I'm going to change that to orange. And then let me pull up the other TD sequential. Here, that one retested. Okay, so that's it. And then on the daily, I think we're good on the daily. There's one right here. Make this one red. And there's another one right here. So there's a lot of areas of interest whenever lumber starts to come back down, because I do think it's going to come back down. So where's the previous all-time high? Okay, so the previous all-time high was, let me go to the monthly. Right here. Right at 648. Let me get rid of this. Don't need that. What was I doing here? That's where I could possibly come back up, but it already broke the all-time high here. So that's, and it came back to it. I'm going to say everything above this. So, I mean, lumber prices are still going to be relatively high. I just want to make sure I'm not marking anything that is part of the previous cycle run-up. Okay, here we go. So there's all of our levels of interest right here. Next one is 1468. Could this have been the end of the run up, and we see prices start to come down? The dailies pretty much says we're going to get, you know, I think this sell off is going to be sustained, especially after this week. If this closes below 70 and doesn't find support, is there CMF on this? Probably not. Oh, there is. Okay, yeah. So this is starting to turn down. Yeah, we're most likely going to come down in the next couple of weeks. So it's already down 11%. I think this will keep on going down. So that's lumber. We'll look at the dollar real quick because I know that was getting weak. Yeah, it started to come down. I think we're going to get to these areas, 89 area. It saw it bounce today. We could still come back up to here because, I mean, it kind of almost got there as far as the retest goes, but we're getting a rally. Now let's bring up the RSI to look at that. Yeah, it's coming. It's starting to trend back up. Yeah, we got a retest here on the 9. Some strength. Let's bring up our moving averages. Let's look at what the general trend is. And it's down. So even though we have seen a rally, I think we're still gonna, see a little bit of a rally, and then we'll probably go back down to this area, this 89 area, and then from there we'll have to reassess because that's some historical support. Still not above the previous all-time high, but so we can go lower, but that's historical support. You can see since 2014, pretty much. Whenever it broke out, I mean, 2018 was last time I got tested, but we're back down again. So be mindful of that. And then oil, I know that pipeline had gotten hacked. So apparently it goes all the way from Houston to like North Carolina. I know we're still here at that historical trend. People are worried about prices going up. I saw that there's like, fuel scares and some gas stations on the eastern seaboard, maybe in the North Carolina area, or in the Carolinas, where they people have already started to maybe prepare for gas stations not having fuel. But from what I read, the pipeline itself actually didn't get hacked. It was the computer systems of the company who is responsible for that pipeline. I forget the name. So they shut down the pipeline as a precaution, but that they believe that it will come back online by this Friday, before the end of the weekend, but before the end of the week, or right towards the end of the week. So, I mean, it's perfectly possible that we see a spike, and then before the month is over, which is what, in another 2 weeks? Yeah, so we could see a spike next week. And yeah, so before the end of the 2 weeks, we could see a spike, and then gasoline or oil prices getting back below this historical trend line. But we'll see. I mean, because if this historical trend line breaks, there's going to be some pretty big price movement. I think there'll be some large price movements in oil because this has held for so long, since 2008. 2008. So it's more than a decade long trend line. So we'll see. This is something to watch. I still think it's You know, I'm not going to say it's going to break until we get a monthly close above it. So we could wick above it for, you know, a couple weeks, for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll just reassess and see what happens. Even though our longer term trend lines are going much higher, we'll see what happens. So we could see a big price bump in oil. And then the last thing I'll go is gold, and it's been moving pretty well. It's up. It's kind of flat for the week. For the day, I think it might be down just a little bit, but that's good price movement. I think we're going higher. Our trend lines are starting to go back up. Silver, the same thing. It's probably going to be down a little bit more than, yeah. So it's pretty flat, right, sitting right here at resistance. We break out of this channel, and then the target is right around 32. But we could find some resistance right at 28, which is, you know, it's another 50 cents or another dollar. But so we're watching this, and I think that's about it. That's all I wanted to cover. I think this is under 20 minutes. Yeah, looks like Bitcoin's still moving up. I do think we're going to see, you know, I think we're going to see a movement up here, up to the 59 area. Everything right now is indicating that we are. Our funding rates are going negative, and our CMF is going up. Yep, and then we're getting retest areas of where the moving averages are. Close to this moving average. We're above the hourly. Yep, just above it. Let's see what the Ichimoku cloud shows. Yeah, it's finding support right there. We're right here around this this I forget what this one is called. Yeah, it's called this is the conversion line, but it has like a Japanese name. But we're right here by this conversion line, and on the 4 hour, whenever price goes above it, that's what I like to see, and we're kind of above it. So I think we're going to be breaking out soon. Back to this upper area within the next maybe day and a half, as long as the CMF stays trending up. Right here, and look, we're about to break it. So yeah, I like it. Let's look at the unbalanced volume real quick, because that will support this argument. It's pretty flat. It needs to start going up though. We'll see. I still think another day and a half will be in this upper area. 58, 59 for sure. So we'll see how that works out. Appreciate it, and thanks for watching.